Soccer stars are some of the best paid athletes in the world. However, there are some really rich soccer stars who would rather live a more simple life. Here's our list of 10 rich soccer stars that live like average Joes. Number 12. Yannick Bolasie. Yannick Bolasie, a famous soccer player, stands out because he doesn't spend like other rich athletes. He grew up in a regular area of London, and even though he is now a millionaire, he still keeps things simple. When he played for Crystal Palace, he didn't spend a lot, even though he could have. Bolasie didn't get caught up in flashy lifestyles. Instead, he bought a house close to his family. He says he doesn't want to live like other big-name players who splash out on fancy stuff. He believes it could distract him from playing his best soccer. Even after he joined Everton for lots of money, he didn't change his spending habits. He decided to keep living like he did before. While some people might spend more if they got a raise, Bolasie prefers to save his money. This down-to-earth attitude sets him apart from many other rich athletes. It shows that he cares more about soccer than living large. Number 11. Juan Mata. Meet Juan Mata, the soccer star who lives life differently. While he earns a whopping £140,000 every week, he's not into flashy stuff. Instead of splurging, he gives 1% of his money to charity. He even drives an old Volkswagen Beetle instead of a fancy car. Unlike other rich players who spend big on fancy things, Mata is smart with his cash. He's not all about showing off. Instead, he's studying subjects like marketing and sports science. And when it comes to holidays, he's not jet-setting to fancy hotels. Instead, he goes backpacking with his buddies across Spain and Europe. Mata's motto? I travel all year with football, but it's not the same. He prefers genuine experiences over flashy ones. So while others dine at fancy restaurants, he's busy preparing for life after soccer. Mata's style makes him really stand out, especially in a world where everyone's all about showing off. Number 10. N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante, the soccer star known for his humble attitude, lives a surprisingly simple life, despite being super rich. Born on March 29, 1991 in Paris, France, Kante worked hard to become a top soccer player. He made a big splash playing for Leicester City, helping them win the Premier League in 2015-2016. What's interesting about Kante is that he doesn't act like other rich soccer players. While many of them show off their money with fancy cars and huge houses, Kante keeps things basic. Instead of a flashy sports car, he drives a Mini Cooper. And instead of living in a mansion, he chooses a regular apartment. But why does he live like this when he has so much money? Well, it's because Kante values simple things more than fancy stuff. He grew up believing in hard work and being humble, and those values stuck with him. So even though he's a big deal in soccer, he stays true to himself and doesn't let money change who he is. Speaking of money, Kante's got a lot of it. His net worth is estimated to be around $40 million, and he earns about $15 million every year. But instead of blowing it all on expensive things, he saves and invests wisely to make sure he and his family are secure in the future. It's hard to believe that someone who's played in big leagues and won the World Cup could live so humbly. While others spend lots of money on haircuts, Kante was happy with a $10 one. He even once had dinner with a fan, showing he's down to earth despite his fame. Even though Kante is a soccer champ, he reminds us that being true to yourself and enjoying life's simple things matter more than showing off wealth. Number 9. Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane, the amazing soccer player from Senegal, is loved by fans for his skills and his big heart. He's super successful and rich, but unlike some stars, he doesn't live a crazy fancy life. Mane grew up in Sédio, Senegal, and worked hard to become a soccer star. He played for famous teams in Europe and is known for being super fast and scoring lots of goals. What makes Mane special is how down-to-earth he is. Other players might show off expensive cars and houses, but Mane keeps things simple with a normal car, a normal house, and even a broken iPhone, which people made fun of a while back. So why doesn't he spend all his money? Mane is a very generous person who loves to help others. He donates most of his money to charities that help people in need. He's even helped build schools, hospitals, and other important things in his hometown called Bambali. Well, Mane gives money every month to everyone in a poor part of his village. This shows how much he cares about sharing his luck with others. He believes his money should make a difference in people's lives, especially those who helped him on his way to success. Even though Mane makes a lot of money, around 15 mil a year, he stays focused on helping others. He's a great example of someone who's humble and generous. In a world where fame and fortune can sometimes make people selfish, Mane is a true star. His story shows us that real wealth isn't about fancy things, but about making the world a better place and helping the people around you. Number 8. Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk, the big football star, doesn't live like other rich soccer players. Even though he's got loads of money, he keeps things simple, just like an average Joe. He was born on July 8, 1991 in Breda, Netherlands. His dad left when he was 11, so he grew up with his mom, Helen, and had to work hard for everything. Virgil loved playing football since he was a kid, even though he had to wash dishes part-time. Getting into football wasn't easy for him. He had to try a lot and face health problems too, but he never gave up. Finally, he made it big, playing for teams like Celtic and then Liverpool. Virgil is famous for being super hard to get past on the field. No one dribbled past him in 65 matches. Off the field, he's just a regular guy. He lives with his wife Rika and their 4 kids in a normal house in Liverpool. They've had some tough times, like when Virgil cheated, but they worked through it. He's got some cool cars, like a Land Rover, Audi, Ferrari, and Mercedes, but he's not showing off. Virgil earns a lot, around £220,000 every week. But he also helps charities and gives back to the community. When he's not playing, Virgil likes spending time with family, watching TV, and playing video games. He's got tattoos on his arm that tell his story, and he's proud of where he came from. That's why people love him, both on and off the pitch. Number 7. Thiago Alcantara. Thiago Alcantara, the super-skilled Liverpool FC midfielder, is a football star who marches to the beat of his own drum. He's a champion player, having bagged trophies with giants like Barcelona and Bayern Munich before landing at Anfield. But forget the flashy lifestyle most footballers seem to have, Thiago's more down-to-earth. Even though he's worth a ton of cash, somewhere around £50 million, and earns a hefty salary, you won't see him rolling up in a flashy sports car or chilling in a palace. Thiago's more likely to be driving a regular car to practice and hanging out with his family at home, just like any normal person. In fact, he's known to donate anonymously to charities he cares about, showing his generosity goes beyond just his family. So what makes him different? Why wouldn't a super athlete who could buy his own island choose the fancy life? Well, for Thiago, it seems the most important things are simpler. The money is cool, sure, but it's not what makes him tick. For example, forget expensive cars. Thiago drives regular cars that are comfy and get him where he needs to go. His house is nice and big, but it doesn't have gold-plated features or a private cinema. It's just a place to relax, not a show-off mansion. This normal guy attitude follows him everywhere. He avoids the glitz and glam of superstardom. He doesn't crave the spotlight and doesn't care about being a big celebrity. Spending time with his family is his priority. You'd be more likely to see him kicking a ball around with his kids in the park than walking a fancy red carpet. Thiago Alcantara's story reminds us that money isn't everything. Sure, it can make life easier, but being truly happy comes from the things that really matter: family, friends, and doing something amazing that you love. Number 6. Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah is a famous soccer player who doesn't act like he's rich. He has a lot of money but lives like a regular person. He doesn't buy fancy cars or big houses. Instead, he helps his community by building schools and hospitals. He likes to keep things simple and doesn't show off his wealth. Even though Salah has around $70 million and earns a lot of money, he doesn't spend it on expensive things. He drives an average car and lives in a normal house. This makes him different from other rich soccer players who like to show off how much money they have. Salah doesn't spend his money on fancy things. Instead, he helps his community by building schools and a hospital all on his own. He's also given a big part of his earnings to support over 450 families in need, helping them escape poverty by providing monthly allowances. When Egypt was facing tough times economically, Salah stepped up and donated around $300,000 to assist the government during the crisis. Salah is known for being kind and humble. He likes to help people and make a difference in their lives. He doesn't act like a superstar and is friendly with his fans. This makes him likable and easy to relate to, even though he's a famous athlete. While many rich people like to show off their wealth, Salah prefers to focus on helping others and staying true to himself. He believes that real wealth comes from making a positive impact on the world and being genuine. Number 5. Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min is a famous soccer player from South Korea. He's known for being quiet and simple when he's not playing. He likes to relax at home and listen to music. Son lives in London with his parents in a regular apartment, not a fancy one. Even though Son has a lot of money, he doesn't show off. He drives a normal car and lives a quiet life, unlike many other rich soccer players who like to flaunt their wealth. Son values simplicity and family over flashy things, which makes him different. Son is worth a lot of money because of his success with Tottenham and the South Korean national team. Despite this, he stays humble and doesn't rush into marriage, focusing on his career first. In South Korea, Son is a big star, with his face in many ads and journalists following his every move. Son's impact on the field is impressive too. He scored the first goal at Tottenham's new stadium, showing his skill and importance to the team. His success both on and off the field has made him a role model for many. In a world where fame often means showing off, Son Heung-min chooses to keep things simple. Number 4. Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, the 24-year-old forward for Manchester United, is not just a soccer star, but also a symbol of generosity and courage. Despite his wealth, Rashford chooses to live a humble life, standing out among rich soccer players who prefer a more down-to-earth approach. Rashford's actions off the field speak volumes about his character. He's been a vocal advocate against poverty, using his platform to make a difference in the lives of others. During the COVID-19 lockdown, his donations helped provide free meals to 4 million disadvantaged children in England, showcasing his commitment to helping those in need. His advocacy for ending child poverty led to a policy change ensuring children could access free meals at schools during holidays. Despite his significant net worth and salary as a top footballer, Rashford's lifestyle remains modest. He opts for an average car and lives in a normal house, eschewing the extravagance often associated with professional athletes. His choice to prioritize giving back over indulging in luxury sets him apart from many of his peers who flaunt their wealth. Rashford's dedication to social causes and his willingness to speak out on important issues demonstrate his values of compassion and empathy. His brave stance on child poverty has inspired change and made a tangible impact on society, showing that one person can make a difference regardless of their background or status. In a world where fame and fortune can lead to excess, Rashford's humility shines through. By using his success to uplift others and advocate for positive change, he exemplifies the power of kindness and generosity. His ability to balance sporting excellence with social responsibility sets him apart as a role model for both fans and fellow athletes. Number 3. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian football maestro, may have millions in the bank, but he's not one to flaunt his wealth. Despite his incredible success on the pitch, De Bruyne prefers to live a quiet, unassuming life away from the spotlight. Born in Belgium, De Bruyne's journey to football stardom began at a young age. With his remarkable talent and dedication, he quickly rose through the ranks, earning accolades and admiration from fans around the world. Today, De Bruyne's net worth is estimated to be in the tens of millions, thanks to his lucrative contracts and endorsements. However, you won't catch him driving around in flashy sports cars or living in extravagant mansions. Instead, De Bruyne opts for a more modest lifestyle, focusing on his family and keeping things simple. He lives in a comfortable home, nothing too extravagant, and drives practical cars rather than luxury vehicles. Away from the pitch, De Bruyne prefers to avoid unnecessary media attention. He's not one for flashy parties or celebrity events. Instead, he spends his free time with his loved ones, cherishing moments with his family and staying grounded amidst his fame and fortune. Despite his low-key demeanor, De Bruyne's talent on the field speaks volumes. Widely regarded as one of the best midfielders in the world, he continues to dazzle fans with his skill, vision, and playmaking abilities. De Bruyne's dedication to his craft and his humble approach to life make him a beloved figure both on and off the pitch. He's not just a football star, he's a role model for staying true to oneself and prioritizing what truly matters in life. He may be a wealthy soccer star, but he chooses to live like an average Joe, focusing on what brings him joy and fulfillment: his family, his passion for football, and his quiet life away from the spotlight. Number 2. Raheem Sterling. Meet Raheem Sterling, the soccer sensation who's not afraid to keep it real despite his hefty paycheck. As a Manchester winger, Sterling pulls in a cool £180,000 every week, making him one of the top earners in the game. But unlike some of his peers who flaunt their wealth with flashy purchases, Sterling's style is refreshingly down to earth. Sure, he loves his designer labels like Gucci and D-Squared too, but Sterling isn't afraid to mix it up with some budget-friendly finds. You might catch him and his partner, Paige Million, browsing the racks at stores like Primark and Poundland, hunting for bargains like any regular shopper. In fact, Paige once proudly shared on her blog about scoring a whole outfit for Sterling at Primark for just £32. For Sterling and Paige, it's not about the price tag. It's about finding pieces they love at prices that make sense. Paige even confessed her love for Primark, declaring it her favorite shop since childhood. She's unapologetic about her bargain hunting ways, proving that you don't need a designer wardrobe to look good. With Sterling, it's not just about the money, it's about staying true to who he is, both on and off the field. Number 1. Emmanuel Adebayor. When it comes to naming elite soccer players, Emmanuel Adebayor might not be the first name that comes to mind. In a world dominated by superstars like Messi and Ronaldo, Adebayor's name often flies under the radar. However, his career speaks volumes, having played for some of the biggest clubs in the world, from Arsenal to Manchester City, and even donning the iconic white jersey of Real Madrid. Despite earning a hefty salary and scoring plenty of goals on the field, Adebayor's life off the pitch tells a different story. Rather than living a life of luxury, he chooses to keep things simple, focusing on what truly matters to him: family and personal well-being. Adebayor's generosity with his wealth is commendable. He didn't hoard his earnings but instead shared them with his less fortunate family members, providing them with opportunities they could only dream of. It's a noble gesture, considering the immense wealth soccer players accumulate throughout their careers. However, Adebayor's kindness came with a price. Once word got out about his generosity, it seemed like everyone wanted a piece of the pie. Family members and close friends came out of the woodwork, seeking financial assistance and putting immense pressure on Adebayor. This constant demand for money took a toll on Adebayor's mental health. The pressure of being everyone's financial savior became overwhelming, leading to struggles with his well-being. Faced with this reality, Adebayor made a courageous decision to change his lifestyle drastically. He chose to simplify his life, stepping away from the spotlight and focusing on what truly matters. Instead of flashy cars and extravagant mansions, Adebayor now lives a much more modest life, free from the burdens of excessive wealth and the pressures it brings. Today, Adebayor prioritizes his family and personal happiness above all else. He avoids unnecessary media attention and lives a quiet, unassuming life away from the glare of the public eye. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love our next one. Don't forget to subscribe to Millionaire Post for more content like this.